Goliath for the Missouri state title.
Welcome to the Hearn Center, the basketball capital of the state, where today 29-2 West Plains goes against 28-3 Webster Groves. Hello again, everybody. I'm Frank Cusimano. With me, my partner, Chris Covino, and we feel we have a terrific matchup in the finals. These are two teams with absolutely nothing in common. Webster Groves from the big city with the big players who want to make today's game a half-court game, played in the 50s or the low 60s. Chris, on the other side of the coin, West Plains a bit different.
A bit different indeed, Frank. They're the West Plains Zizzers, lightning bolts, an appropriate nickname for this club. They love to run. Defensively, they will apply full-court pressure throughout the ball game. Offensively, they love to put up the three-point shot, and they do it quite well. And they really have to, because West Plains does not figure to do much inside against Webster Groves. You see the height advantage for Webster Groves, 5 inches across the board. The tallest West Plains starter, Frank, only goes 6'2", so it's a huge differential between these teams.
Keep in mind that West Plains has shot over 700 three-pointers this season. Now to our Midas keys of the game. First of all, for West Plains, they must contain the big men, hit the three-pointers, and get some balanced scoring today. Chris, for Webster Groves.
Well, they really have to be able to handle the full-court pressure that they will see from West Plains. West Plains is relentless with its full-court press. That is the key. They also want to get Johnny Parker involved in the game. He got into foul trouble early yesterday, didn't play that many minutes. They look to get him involved much more today.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with the starting lineups right after this.
The Missouri State High School Class 4A Championship basketball game is brought to you by Midas, the Midas way, the way it should be. By AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. By your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers, home of the minivan store. And by Coca-Cola, proud to be associated with the Missouri State High School Activities Association. Good luck and welcome to Columbia.
Dear car owners, if you had a brake problem tomorrow, could you think of one brake specialist to go to? Where can you go for same-day brake service? A guarantee on brake shoes and pads for as long as you own your car. And the expertise of doing over 2 million brake jobs a year? Midas.
Think of us as the brake specialists. We're pretty good at mufflers, too.
A national research leader, MU is focusing on student success. One way is with learning communities for students who share interests.
Freshman interest groups generally have up to 20 freshman students with similar areas of interest.
I really think that I started out ahead.
They knew each other before they even went to class.
If I'd want to study with somebody, all I have to do is go next door and knock on the door. My freshman interest group has made my freshman year a really great year.
It's good, it's fun, and it's friendly. And you learn a lot.
The University of Missouri-Columbia, focused on student success.
Some of the most acclaimed cars in history are now on sale. Save now on all the award-winning cab-forward Chrysler sedans, sporty Cirrus, luxury family sedan Chrysler Concorde, and the elegant Chrysler LHS. Choose low APRs or low lease rates or up to $3,000 cash back. The technology of cab-forward design is now on sale during the Chrysler Award Sale at your Chrysler dealer.
In Murray, Utah, a lot of folks like to work on their cars themselves, and they come to AutoZone because they know they'll find quality parts, low prices, great selection, and helpful people like Rick Perry. Now, Rick's been around cars all his life, so he knows a thing or two about looking up parts and solving problems. And whether it's selling new parts or testing old ones, he's always glad to help. You see, when it comes to getting the right part, the right price, and good advice, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
I'm going back to school because higher education is so dang darn important, and a great way to finance it is a Boatman's home equity line. Low rates and the interest is usually tax deductible. Well, gotta go. We're taking over the administration building. Party! Party!
It's coming to Columbia, August 9th. The Wake Up to Missouri Hot Air Balloon Championships, the nation's premier ballooning event. The Balloon Nationals will feature the country's top 100 balloon pilots, a special shapes rodeo, daily mass ascensions, carnival rides, the craft fair, exhibits, and kids' activities. Don't miss these gentle giants of the sky. The Wake Up to Missouri Hot Air Balloon Championships, August 9th through 16th at the Boone County Fairgrounds in Columbia.
Folks, that Boatman's Bank home equity line I mentioned when I was a freshman, it worked. And you know, applying is even easier than graduating. Just call Boatman's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Maybe I'll go back and go to med school. Want to see my tonsils?
And welcome back to the Hearn Center. Also joining us on today's broadcast, Rod Kelly. Rod, what do you think today?
I think it's going to be high school basketball at its best this morning. The #1 ranked Webster Grove team against the #2 ranked West Plains Ball Club. It should be a battle of tempo. West Plains wants to have a full court game, and Webster Grove wants to have a half court game. Let's go back to Frank for the starting lineups.
All right, Rod, thank you very much. Time now for our Coca-Cola starting lineups for West Plains. It'll be Justin Langston, Lonnie Harden, David Snodgrass, Eric Judd, and Mark Garner. For Webster Groves, Taylor, Snelling, Decker, Parker, and Wacker. The key, I think, for Webster Groves early in this basketball game will be to get Johnny Parker involved early, because yesterday, another quiet performance by Parker. He's been maybe their best player all season long, but been rather quiet in the playoffs.
Well, you're right, Frank. We mentioned Johnny Parker, and you see the respective coaches, Steve Hunter, of course, for West Plains, and Tim Moore at Webster Groves. Each school trying to win its first basketball state championship today. Webster Groves with Tate Decker, Missouri-bound, the near 7-foot center, and Johnny Parker, just a junior forward, 6'6", athletic, smooth, getting a lot of attention already from college recruiters. They've got great athletes, but they want to utilize both of them, unlike yesterday when they really just had Decker to count on for the whole length of the ball game.
And jumping center, 7-foot Tate Decker against 6'2" David Snodgrass. And Snodgrass actually got the tip. This is Judd. This is Lonnie Harden, the point guard. Harden won't shoot a whole lot. He wants to get the ball to Judd. Garner. Webster Groves comes out in an aggressive man-to-man defense. Out of bounds, Webster ball.
You know, already you notice the size differential. I mean, it's almost obscene. You have Tate Decker, who they listed 7 feet tall, guarding the 5'11" player, Lonnie Harden of West Plains, there on that first offensive possession for the Zizzers.
And Garner will be on Johnny Parker. Parker at 6'7" will play a lot of point guard for Webster Groves. Here's Snelling. He's a threat from three-point country. Spencer Taylor, the point guard. Parker from 3 in the air. Got it.
Well, that's getting involved in a hurry. Johnny Parker with the trifecta.
Johnny Parker Jr., maybe the most gifted athlete in St. Louis. Good look down low to Garner. Got it over Decker for the bucket.
How about that? Going right at the big man, West Plains. A little bit attitude, maybe, establishment, showing they're not going to be intimidated by this much taller Statesman group.
Parker threw it away. West Plains coach Steve Hunter went to a Rick Pitino coaching clinic 3 years ago, and he said, that's the style I like. Full court pressure, man-to-man defense the entire game. Lonnie Harden guarded by Spencer Taylor. Judd. You don't want to give him much room to shoot, as DeSmet will attest from yesterday.
He's a dead-eye marksman from long range.
Good look down low to Snodgrass, but he lost it. Taylor the other way, got knocked down, no call. Jump ball. The referees for today's game, John Schaffencutter and Bill Sober.
These officials, we ought to point out, also are really here because of their outstanding work throughout the regular season. They get graded just like a lot of players and coaches do in their respective systems. That ends up being West Plains basketball there.
Down low to Snodgrass. Did a little skip.
Yeah, Snodgrass tried to go up with a double pump fake, and he just moved his pivot foot as he did, trying to get Decker off his feet. So the traveling call gives it back to Webster Groves.
Wacker, not a ball handler, looking for Johnny Parker, who is. Taylor across the timeline. This is Parker inside. Good look to Decker from 12. Got it.
What a beautiful soft touch Tate Decker has. He poured in 28 yesterday. He's great from the free throw line, can step out and knock it down 15 feet away. He is a talent. Going to play on this court for years to come for the University of Missouri.
Snodgrass. And it'll go off West Plains.
Steve Hunter, the West Plains coach, telling his ball club to think they're very patient. Smart team, all honor students on the squad. I mean, just a remarkable story in that, right? And they really want to play patient and get good looks at the basket offensively.
5-2 Webster, 5:49 to go in the first. Decker, top of the key. Webster wants to be patient. They want to get the ball down low and get some good open looks at the basket. They don't want to make this a full court game. Spencer Taylor to the hole, lost it. Harden the other way. He is really clever with the ball. Decker knocked it away.
Well, a few turnovers, as we might expect in the early stages of a state championship game televised statewide. These kids aren't used to the attention and the huge crowd we have here at the Hearn Center. And both coaches, Tim Moore, Webster Groves, and, of course, Steve Hunter, West Plains, will try to settle their group down in the first few minutes of play.
Garner to Judd. He's guarded by Wacker. Interesting move by Coach Moore. Down low is Snodgrass. Over Decker. Nope. Off of Judd. Webster ball. Here's a good look. Here's a look at the replay. And as you can see, it'll go off of Judd's leg right there. So a good call by the official. Parker is fouled by Harden. Should mention that Johnny Parker Sr., Johnny's dad, played in this state tournament in 1974 and 1976 for Central High School in St. Louis. He was a fabulous talent, about the same size, but more of a post player.
Well, anybody who's watched this young man play knows he has unlimited potential and ability, and he is just fun to watch him play. Look at him in the open floor there.
Little finger roll by Johnny Parker Jr. He is a wonderful finisher. 7-2 Webster. Harden, a little behind the back dribble, won't shoot the three. Good look though, pick and roll to Snodgrass over the smaller Spencer Taylor. Nice look.
You got to applaud a play like that. The old pick and roll, you don't see it much in basketball anymore, but you know what? It's as effective as any play they have.
Decker to Taylor. Webster has beaten this press quite well, 9-4.
Frank, if you beat the press, you're going to get quick, easy baskets on the other end. You attack the basket once you get by the pressure. Good job, Webster Groves.
This is Judd, has yet to release a shot. Will now. Over Decker, won't get it to fall. Look at that rebound by Parker. He has Taylor on the other end. Alley-oop to Schnelling. The other way, Harden across the timeline. Snodgrass has second thoughts going against Decker. Here's Garner down low. Snodgrass from 12. No, rebound, Johnny Parker Jr. If you're seeing him for the first time, you think, boy, he looks like he's a shaky ball handler, but he's not. He just dribbles very high. This is Snelling. Parker from 3 again. Yes.
You think this young man doesn't want to make a statement? He's going to let everybody know he's a senior to be in high school next season. Remember the name, Johnny Parker. College recruiters know all about him.
12-4 Webster. Justin Langston. Gives to Harden.
Hands off! Hands off!
Down low, Garner. He won't get it to fall. It was a nice move by Garner to sneak inside. But the foul goes against West Plains.
Tate Decker, you see in the picture there, really went up aggressively. He is a big, strong player and hits the boards hard.
There is a timeout on the floor. The Class 4A championship basketball game will continue after these.
Take a walk in the woods through elegant cherry, majestic pine, massive oak. If you marvel at the strength and durability of wood, just consider who made it. Of course, we helped with the timeless pieces we've designed for every room in your house. So if you appreciate the beauty that wood can bring to your home, you've come to the right place. Knock on wood. Value City Furniture. Who'd you think we were talking about?
Do you dream of owning a Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Volvo, Honda, or some other high-quality import? Come to the largest independent import dealer in the Midwest, Imports Limited. You'll find unbelievable prices like these every day. 91 Honda Accord LX, $5,850. 91 BMW, $325, only $7,750. 90 Subaru for $2,450. 87 Mercedes 300E, only $8,500. There's over 200 vehicles. Prices are clearly marked. You can't afford your dream car at Imports Limited. Brandon Chippewa, 771-6699.
Monday on Show Me St. Louis.
Hi, I'm John Pertzborn.
And I'm Debbie Turner. Are you looking for great spring break activities? Well, the YMCA has something for everyone. Find out how your children can take part.
And your family can tour St. Louis's most popular sites from a whole new angle. See them from the sky.
Plus, did you know ballroom dancing is an Olympic sport? Meet some local teens who hope to one day twirl their way to the gold.
Don't miss Show Me St. Louis Monday at 3 p.m. only on Channel 5.
Helping girls reach their fullest potential while developing into caring and competent women is the mission of the Girl Scout Council of Greater St. Louis. Hello, I'm Dan Gray. This week, Volunteer 5 is looking for someone like you to share your talents with the Girl Scout troop. If you can teach a weekend workshop, help girls learn about career options, or supervise troop outings, please call the Volunteer 5 hotline.
Volunteer 5, in partnership with Lindenwood College, the leader in success, and SSM Rehabilitation Institute, a member of the St. Louis Healthcare Network.
You're a sports fan, so you gotta have Sports Plus.
He's the great one, and he's talking Blues hockey on Sports Plus.
Brett has made hockey in this town. Brett is the reason that there is an arena here that is brand new. This will always be Brett's town.
When you gotta have the best in sports, you gotta have Mike Bush's Sports Plus. You gotta love it. This Sunday at 10:30 only on News Channel 5.
Welcome back to the Hearn Center. Webster leads it 12-4 with 3:14 to go.
Johnny Parker, we mentioned, such a talented athlete. Take a look at the move to the basket, the pretty fingertip roll for two. He can step outside as well. Great ball movement from Webster Groves. They rotate it around. Parker plants home the three-pointer. He's a talent, just a junior.
And in his previous two games against Vashon last Saturday and against Truman yesterday, he was under double figures, but Johnny Parker already has 8 points. Traveling on Tate Decker. So the West Plains pressure starting to work here.
And they really feel that is their clear advantage in this game because Webster Groves, as Coach Moore, we just saw had a seat, admits his team struggled against a full-court press. West Plains will be relentless. They'll use that all game long, try to get the bigger Webster Groves players to handle the ball in the backcourt.
Checking into the game, Jeremiah McWilliams, number 40. And this is Harden to the hole. And a foul before he got there. Jeremiah McWilliams, number 40, is not an athletic-looking fellow, but yesterday in the semifinal game against the Smet, he was absolutely out of sight, 18 points in 14 minutes.
And you talk about out of sight, how about Parker's production? 8 of 12 points for his team in the first 5 minutes of play here today.
This is McWilliams. They can't give him room to shoot. Snodgrass. Judd would like a pick. Now, Webster is going to switch on all these picks because they can't give them room to shoot. There's Snodgrass. Got the 15-footer. Nice roll.
Nice roll indeed. You know, they run that high post a lot with Snodgrass. He's a great passer out of the post for three-point spot-up shooters. That time he just turned, got a good look at the bucket, and got it to go.
All right, let's check in with Rod Kelly.
Thanks a lot, Frank. Coach Steve Hunter, at that last timeout, wanted his ball club to shoot the ball more inside and also to go to the boards a little bit more and to turn up the defensive pressure, just like you've said.
All right, Rod, thanks very much. Snelling will be the trigger man. Parker from 3 again. No. Rebound Decker. Tried to give it to Snelling, and it was stolen away by Adam Madden. This is Judd. Nice look to Snodgrass. Missed the layup. Got the rebound. And was fouled by Johnny Parker Jr.
Well, aggressive to the basket. That's how West Plains has been. Again, they're a smaller bunch, but they're not going to back down. The nice, strong move, good bounce pass, and look inside for Snodgrass. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That's the West Plains motto, apparently, and they are undaunted so far.
Harden down low to McWilliams, and he got the layup. Very well crafted play by West Plains. It's 12-6 now. Snelling lost it on the other end. The pressure is beginning to work for West Plains.
Yeah, and it's worked really all year long. That's their bread and butter defensively. Force the opponent into turnovers. And again, Tim Moore, the Webster Groves coach, knew that could be the problem. It's been an Achilles heel for his ball club in recent weeks.
Yesterday, West Plains forced the Smet into 17 turnovers. This is McWilliams. Adam Madden now. Down low, Snodgrass. Good look inside to McWilliams.
Yeah, I tell you, that's the young man, Snodgrass, who set up that play with the pass. He really impressed me passing the basketball from his spot. McWilliams there to convert for 2.
Taylor 3-on-2 to Decker. And 10, no. Harden the other end. Snodgrass. Madden won't shoot it. Parker stole it. Loose ball. And I believe Judd stepped out of bounds. Judd's got to be a little frustrated right now. Hasn't gotten a shot up.
Yeah, he loves to stroke it from the outside, put in 23 yesterday, and there clearly his foot is over the baseline. Good call, and Webster Groves has it again.
Harden knocked it loose. Madden picked it up. Judd, Harden from 3, in the air, no. Parker with another rebound. Oh, look at that dribble. Look at that in between the legs dribble, and then off glass. It's the Johnny Parker show in the first quarter.
I don't think we need to say anything on a play like that. It's, ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
Williams down low. And they call him with a travel. I don't know if on that last play Parker put it between his legs or took it behind his back. He did it so quickly.
You know, the defenders for West Plains are asking themselves the same questions, Frank. Here we go.
Here we go. Behind the back. 42 seconds to go in the first. 14-10 Webster. Taylor will set it up and give to Parker. Decker was open, but they'll hold possibly for one shot. Snelling has yet to fire.
Yeah, he can. He is a three-range specialist, three-point range shooter.
Here's Decker to the hole, left hand. Rebound Judd. 15 seconds in the first. Great look to Snodgrass.
Boy, that's beautiful basketball. I mean, really a team concept from West Plains. They move it around the horn in an offensive set and on the fast break, and they get easy baskets.
3 seconds. 2. Parker in the air. Nope. And we have a terrific first quarter. Webster leads West Plains 14-12. We'll be right back after this.
At AutoZone, we carry filters for just about every car on the road. And we've got most every kind of oil you could ever need. More than 10 brands and 30 weights. But no matter which oil you choose to put in your car, you gotta do something with the old stuff. So just bring your used oil back to us. We'll take care of it for you. You see, helping you recycle, that's just one more reason why there's no place better than AutoZone.
Plymouth's clever idea department has been on a roll lately. The next challenge? Come up with clever ways to save. Now get a great lease on the redesigned Plymouth Voyager. Choose your savings on Plymouth Neon, or even get this tantalizing introductory price on the all-new Plymouth Breeze. Oh, and they even named the event. Aren't they clever?
A national research leader, MU is focusing on student success. One way is with learning communities for students who share interests.
Freshman interest groups generally have up to 20 freshman students with similar areas of interest.
I really think that I started out ahead.
They knew each other before they even went to class.
If I'd want to study with somebody, all I have to do is go next door and knock on the door. My freshman interest group has made my freshman year a really great year.
It's good, it's fun, and it's friendly. And you learn a lot.
The University of Missouri-Columbia focused on student success.
Dear car owners, if you had a brake problem tomorrow, could you think of one brake specialist to go to? Where can you go for same-day brake service? A guarantee on brake shoes and pads for as long as you own your car. And the expertise of doing over 2 million brake jobs a year? Midas. Think of us as the brake specialists. We're pretty good at mufflers, too.
And we're back at the Hearn Center. Frank Cusimano with Chris Corvino.
Tate Decker here, heading to the basket along the baseline. Doesn't get the layup to go, and look how quickly the other way come the West Plains Zizzers. Eric Judd in transition. Decker didn't really get back quick enough on defense, nor did his teammates for that matter, and it results in an easy basket off the glass for Snodgrass. That's taking advantage of a miss and getting out and getting going the other way.
Wacker is the trigger man. Gives to Johnny Parker. He's guarded by Eric Judd. Judd has yet to score, but he's had some nice assists. He leads this team in scoring, rebounding, and assists. This is Spencer Taylor from three. Wide open hill. Good rebound by Wacker. He lost it, though. Jeremiah McWilliams. Madden across the timeline. Judd, and they're going to call a foul on Spencer Taylor, and Webster doesn't like it.
You know, Webster got a big lead in the first period here, but I'll promise you, West Plains will come back. Here's the takeaway as you look at it again by Webster Groves, and then, of course, the foul will come up here. Tough call coming up, but West Plains really working hard and getting the... You see Taylor without position defensively with the foul against him. That's a good call.
Back the other way, McWilliams missed the short jumper, and Parker across the timeline gives to Spencer Taylor. He lost it. West Plains ball. Also checking into the game, number 34, Brent Roberts for West Plains. They played 13 players yesterday. They'll play them all.
Makes it easy for us, huh, to keep up with all these guys.
This is Harden. Judd guarded by Snelling. McWilliams, set shot, got it.
He's got some release. It's off center. It's off the side. Little set shot, but it splashes through more times than not, at least this weekend in the semifinals and so far in today's title game.
Kids, don't try that shot at home. Webster lost it. I believe their third turnover.
Yeah, and again, this is the storyline. The press is really creating some havoc for Webster Groves.
Let's check in with Rod Kelly.
Okay, Frank. The Webster Grove coach is concerned that Tate Decker has a little cut on his on the little finger of his right hand. And he's also concerned with the pressuring defense of West Plains. Says that they're hurting themselves by not being patient.
Madden drives the lane and hits the jumper. Thanks, Rod. There's Tim Moore. It is 19-14 West Plains.
And he has right to be concerned. He saw a big first period lead vanish into a deficit now for his ball club.
Taylor gives to Parker. Snelling from three. No. And McWilliams with another rebound. Madden across the timeline. There's Brent Roberts. He lost it.
Well, that's a little sloppy there out on the right sideline, and Coach Hunter turns away in disgust, and that is not what they're used to seeing. The Zizzers get good, crisp ball movement normally around the perimeter, and that was just a little lackadaisical on their part.
Snelling lost it. Madden picked it up. This is Judd. Snelling picked it back up. Third foul on Lonnie Harden. That'll be Harden's second foul, and that could be a big foul.
Sure could. And again, this is very unlike West Plains these last two trips. The bounce pass, not a great pass there, a little low. Of course, the defender had something to do with it. Snelling getting back defensively to intercept. But again, not the type passing you're looking for from this West Plains team, because we saw them zip it around so effectively in the semifinal game and at stages here today.
Parker. Oh, this is a short one. Decker with the putback. Nice tip in by Tate.
Well, he was a monster yesterday. 28 points and 13 rebounds. Been putting up incredible numbers all year.
It looked like, Decker on goaltending on Madden. It was a nice look by Eric Judd, and Decker went above the cylinder, and it was a good call. Let's check it out again.
And you see Tate getting up there and off the glass and then some contact. And that'll happen with him because he is a shot blocker. He really plays hard. That's what I admired about him in my few times that I've seen him, Frank. He really goes after it, runs the floor hard, both ends of the floor, works hard on the boards. And if Missouri's coaches can really refine some of his skills, I think they're going to have a heck of a player here the next 4 years.
Webster beats the press. The alley-oop. Decker missed it, but he was fouled on the play. He was fouled by Aaron Mills, so Tate Decker will go to the free throw line to shoot a couple.
And Tate Decker is, again, moving away from the basketball toward the bucket. Got a nice feed from Parker. Didn't get it to go, but got hammered. And he'll go to the line. Parker, again, it takes two to tango. Nice setup here on the alley-oop for his buddy and teammate Decker. Didn't result in the hoop, but he will get a chance to connect from the line. And as we both know, this young man can stroke it from the charity stripe.
He did yesterday. You mentioned that both Decker and Parker have younger brothers who are about 6'4", 6'5", and 8th and 9th grade. And we may be hearing from Webster in about 3 or 4 years.
We may be seeing Coach Tim Moore hanging around for 3 or 4 more years at least.
Decker knocked them both down. 19-18 West Plains, 5:35 to go. Aaron Mills gives to Eric Judd. Wants to play one. Harden from 3. Got it. Boy, they have a nice release rotation on their jump shots.
That's what they can do. They haven't been in the half-court set much. They've gotten some buckets off the break, but they can really shoot the three from anywhere along the perimeter.
Parker the other end, and it looks like he got fouled. The foul on Ben Streff.
And again, that will happen to a defense working against the likes of Johnny Parker. He is such an athlete, 6'6", can put the ball on the floor, take it to the basket, and create matchup problems defensively for the West Plains team, which quite honestly, in this case, most of the guys on the floor, I think everybody on the floor for both squads, nobody matches up to Parker's athleticism at all.
Substitution for Webster Groves. Wacker goes out. David Grader, number 53, checks in. He's a 6'3 senior. Two similar players that do the little things and rebound.
You know, West Plains coming back and taking this 4-point lead. Steve Hearn's ball club, no slouch. Last year they lost in the quarterfinals to eventual state champ St. Charles West. They had a 25-5 year, so they weren't far from being in the state title game in their own right, losing to the eventual state champions, the St. Charles West Warriors. Here they are now in the title game a year later.
This is Judd. He has just the score. We're 5:08 into the second. Foul on Grader.
Grader, big physical type player, tough customer in there, does a lot of the blue-collar work, if you will, out away from the basket, really harassing the ball there and creating problems. It's not a foul for Webster Groves.
Judd to the hole around Parker. Johnny with the foul.
That's going to happen because Johnny Parker and Webster Groves defensively has got to honor the shooting ability of West Plains. And good defense there by Parker to get out on the three-point arc, because if not, you'll get burned. However, taking advantage of that, the smart Judd goes along the baseline to the basket, and he knows he made a nice play. Didn't have a three-point shot, but took it strong to the hoop and drew the foul.
So an aggressive man-to-man defense. I should say that Sam Snelling has done a real good job on Eric Judd. Judd will finally nail the three, and that one was over Tate Decker. That was a spectacular shot.
It was, and it was set up by the pass out of the high post. Maybe we'll get a chance to see a little bit later. They really spread the floor well. Great spacing offensively by West Plains perimeter people.
Snelling from three. Got it.
Snelling didn't have the space. He just came up, got the basketball, and fired it in. Didn't take much time. But again, he's the long-range threat consistently for Webster Groves, Sam Snelling.
25-22. This is Judd. Great look, but Parker stole it. Good idea, bad pass. Parker across the timeline. Wanted to shoot the three, wanted to pass to Spencer Taylor. It was something in between.
He got caught in no man's land there, Frank, and that cost him.
All right, this Class 4A championship basketball game will continue after these messages from your local stations.
Good afternoon, I'm Paul Williams.
You are watching News Channel 5, where the news comes first.
Good afternoon, I'm Paul Williams in the Channel 5 newsroom as we take a look at what's been happening. Just before 8 o'clock at St. Louis time, the space shuttle of Columbia did touch down in Cape Canaveral. This morning, the weather in southern Florida delayed the landing by an hour and a half. The legacy of this mission will be the loss of nearly $500 million satellite. It was lost when a 12-mile tether frayed and broke. And the sunshine will stick around today because temperatures will climb into the 30s around the St. Louis metropolitan area. Stay tuned. We'll have more news at the end of the game.
Making news at this hour, there will be no News Channel 5.
Our crews are on the scene.
Ready, camera one, take one.
Our top story tonight is... I think this is the story we should lead with.
Reporting on the Night Beat investigation. Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Nobody covers St. Louis like News Channel 5, where the news comes first. Chopper 5, piloted by reporter Alan Bartlett, with 20 years' experience patrolling the skies over St. Louis. Chopper 5, bringing you late-breaking news.
Mississippi River floodwaters destroyed yet another farmhouse.
Detailed traffic reports.
Now stop the car, and they're dragging the individual out of the car.
And road conditions.
A 30-car accident, Highway 40 completely shut down.
Chopper 5 with Alan Bartlett, Your Eye in the Sky, only on News Channel 5, where the news comes first.
Helping girls reach their fullest potential while developing into caring and competent women is the mission of the Girl Scout Council of Greater St. Louis. Hello, I'm Dan Gray. This week, Volunteer 5 is looking for someone like you to share your talents with the Girl Scout troop. If you can teach a weekend workshop, help girls learn about career options, or supervise troop outings, please call the Volunteer 5 hotline.
Volunteer 5, in partnership with Lindenwood College, the leader in success, and Consolidated Communications, a different kind of long-distance company. Monday on News Channel 5's Cover Story.
The popularity of the internet is growing, and parents are monitoring their children's usage at home. But with more and more schools putting their classrooms online, what can be done to protect students from the seedier side of cyberspace? In the next Cover Story, News Channel 5's Gene Jackson shows how one St. Louis school district is making sure its classrooms stay clean.
Cover Story, Monday at 10 on News Channel 5, where the news comes first.
West Plains leads Webster Groves 25-22. Webster's playing good defense, but there's nothing you can do when a guy hits a 22-footer.
Watch them extend the man-to-man defense way out between the circles because they have to respect the three-point shooting ability. They go in the high post, set a nice screen to free the shooter. Eric Judd, bullseye from three-point range. And again, both these teams shoot pretty good percentages from the three-point stripe. Actually, Webster Groves, you might surprise folks with this, a better percentage, but West Plains, you saw how many more times they put it up. Yesterday, they shot 33 threes, and they made 14, so a very good rate of success.
Jeremiah McWilliams gives to Judd another one from three, and Schnelling played good D. It's an air ball. Harden went for it. Let's check in now with Rod Keller.
Coach Hunter from West Plains wants to open up the three-point shooting a little bit, get a little more screening, and Coach Moore from Webster Girls is not pleased with his team's shot selection at all. He really gave it to him on that last time out.
All right, let's see what they can do now, Rod. This is Spencer Taylor. Parker hasn't shot the ball in a couple of minutes. Good steal by Snodgrass. He will hold it up. McWilliams, Judd, looked like he walked. He did. Nice call.
Nice defense at the other end, though, by Snodgrass. You're smaller. You're defending against a bigger athletic player in terms of Johnny Parker of Webster Grove. So how do you prevent them from having success inside? You deny them the basketball, and Snodgrass had his hand out defensively. And here again is the West Plains turnover, no doubt about it. Shovel his feet, give it back to Webster Groves.
And Judd checks out, and Adam Madam checks in for West Plains. Webster across the timeline again. It's Johnny Parker Jr. Triple team there. Gives to Snelling. Somebody's going to be open. And Webster back down in their half-court offense. Snelling from three in the air, in the bucket.
Yeah, he's deadly. He's the one guy in particular on a consistent basis can really put it up and in. That's his repertoire, the three-point shooting ability, and they just gave him too much time and too good a look at the hoop.
25-25 with 2:41 to go. Jeremiah McWilliams wanted the backdoor play, won't do it. Here's Harden, guarded by Johnny Parker, giving up about 8 inches. Snodgrass, giving up about 10 inches. Justin Langston, he's going to be fouled by Tate Decker. That will be Decker's first, though.
Really waiting for Tate to get in and get involved in this ball game. Had a great semifinal performance in the contest yesterday against Truman High School out of Independence. Got out of position. They took him off his feet, tried to play defense from behind. That's not the proper way to do it. Between your man and your basket, good, smart move by Langston. Got the big fella off his feet. Then he came in from behind. Dangerous situation for a defender and resulted in a foul on Tate Decker.
Langston is a 70% free throw shooter. Now, the problem with Webster Groves right now is that Tim Moore told me before the game that they have to switch on every pick. Well, the problem is with Decker coming out, you may get into foul trouble because they have to contest for three-point jump shots.
They want to switch on the picks and screens, but ideally you don't want Decker to have to be the guy guarding away from the basket like that. And you got to chalk it up to West Plains. Good ball movement and nice offensive sets they're using.
27-25, 2:20 to go in the first half. Spencer Taylor. West Plains will drop back into a rare 1-2-2 zone defense. Haven't seen this much. Schnelling thought about it from 25. Down low, Decker from 8. No. Rebound, Wacker. Wacker hits the follow.
Well, that's what he does. He cleans up inside. Wacker, the football player, as well for Webster Groves, an aggressive, hard-nosed type. There's a lot of the little things, and you can never say enough about supporting past players like Wacker on this team.
He's a 4.3 student on a 4.0 scale.
Wow.
Figure that out.
Kind of like you and me, right?
That's right, sure. Madden won't shoot it. Snodgrass bobbles it. Parker stole it. West Plains goes back to a man-to-man. Down low is Decker. Got the bucket. Nice move. That's the athletic one. Tate Decker.
Yeah, he really is in good control of his body. Does a nice job with the ball away from the basket and getting to the basket. And a nice finish there by Tate Decker. Very athletic for a young man, almost 7 feet tall.
And we're going to take a look at this great move by Tate Decker. You know, a lot of people want to compare him to maybe a Steve Stepanovich who went to Missouri a long time ago. But what Decker does is he has great quickness and he has great three-man skills for a 6'10", 6'11", 7-foot guy. He may not be the great postman, but right there you saw the athleticism in and how nifty he is with his footwork.
And he's a great kid. He's a hard worker. Has got a nice touch, can shoot the basketball out 10, 15 feet, and can put the ball on the floor and move his body around to get some shots. So he is not just a big, tall young man who's going to college because he's taller than everybody else at the high school level. He has got some real skills. I know Missouri would like to hone those skills over the next 4 years, and he has a chance to really help this university.
And let's check in now with Rod Kelly.
Frank, I tell you, the thing that's really impressed me about West Plains is the number of players that they play. They really empty the bench out and put a lot of different faces in there and keep a lot of fresh legs in there, and that could really bode well for them if this ball game stays tight in the closing minutes of the ball game. They'll have fresh players out there.
Yeah, Coach Hunter talked about this a little bit yesterday, Chris, with you and I, about how this team is in such great condition that maybe this full-court press won't work in the first, second, and third quarters, but they're in such great condition by the time the fourth quarter comes around, they're going to wear you down.
Right, because Webster Groves does not go nearly as deep as West Plains. They bring in Brader off the bench and sometimes Brett Baresh, but not many beyond that. The Matt Caldwell's action, but they're really an eight-man team at best.
Look at the field goal percentage. Both 11 of 19, 58%. That's a pretty well-played first half.
Not bad at all, and a 29-27 score.
Harden in the air. Foul on Decker, and that is not the foul that Tim Moore wants. His 7-footer out on the floor, knocking down a 5'10" or 5'11" guy.
Well, again, that's a situation where West Plains will pretty much take it any time to get the big guy out trying to defend against the shooters, getting him off his feet. Sure, the shot may be blocked a couple of times, but you have to go, even out there, to try to go straight up as much as possible, because you swipe down at it, you're going to commit a foul. And Tate Decker now, with 2 fouls, they have to be awfully careful here in the final minute of the first half to keep him away from number 3.
Harden hit the first. He is a 66% free throw shooter.
These guys will make you pay. I mean, they will absolutely punish you from the free throw line if you put him there.
He's going to get 3. He told me yesterday that he's never had a tan because the sun doesn't shine in the gym, and that's where these kids spend all their summer months, in the gym shooting the ball, and you can see it right there.
I believe it. They are so together, Frank. They work so hard for that man, Coach Steve Hunter, and they're really a dedicated basketball team. They won 22 consecutive games.
30-29, 44 seconds to go in a very well-played state championship game. Parker guarded by Judd. Snelling thought about it, but gave it back to Parker. Looks like they are going to hold for one. 15 seconds to go in the first half. 30-29 West Plains. Parker says, get out of my way. Guarded by Judd. Tried to do the crossover dribble, but lost it. So West Plains will have the ball with 2 seconds to go.
Well, West Plains should assure itself of having the lead here at halftime by at least 1, and they may run a play here off the inbounds to try and set somebody up. We know they can shoot from well beyond the arc. Just how far, we might find out.
Baseball pass to Snodgrass in the air. Nope, through air. So a very well played first half. West Plains leads it 30-29 as we go to the intermission. Chris, a very good basketball game so far.
Well, outstanding. We mentioned that these are the top 2 teams in the state. Number 1, Webster Groves. Number 2, West Plains. They have the 2 best records in the state, and there's a 1-point difference at the break.
All right, now let's check in with Rod Kelly, who's standing by We're going to check in with Rod in just a minute with Webster Groves coach Tim Moore. Rod, take it away. Go ahead.
Okay, Frank, we've got Coach Tim Moore with us. And, Coach, your thoughts here on this first half of play as your team trails by 1.
Well, we haven't been patient enough on offense, and if we don't get more patient on offense, we're going to have a lot of trouble with them. If we'll slow down and just run our offense, I think we'll be all right.
How about handling the pressure in the second half that West Plains is putting on you?
Well, we got a little lazy there in the late first quarter and early second quarter, but we seem to get reorganized again. If we'll just fill our spots and keep our heads up, I think we'll be all right.
Decker has a small cut on his right hand on his little finger. Any problem there?
I doubt it. He's got a fingernail pulled a little bit, but I don't think there'll be any problem there.
Okay, Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
That's Tim Moore. Now back to you, Frank.
All right, Rod, thank you very much. Johnny Parker Jr. lost it right there. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back after this.
Sturdy rail-through construction and four-wheel specially modified double wishbone suspension. 5-passenger interior comfort for the whole family. Innovative and stylish cab-forward design. All for a price that won't knock the wind out of you. Introducing the new Plymouth Breeze.
A national research leader, MU is focusing on student success. One way is with learning communities for students who share interests.
Freshman interest groups generally have up to 20 freshman students with similar areas of interest.
I really think that I started out ahead.
They knew each other before they even went to class.
If I'd want to study with somebody, all I have to do is go next door and knock on the door. My freshman interest group has made my freshman year a really great year.
It's good, it's fun, and it's friendly. And you learn a lot.
The University of Missouri-Columbia focused on student success.
In Murray, Utah, a lot of folks like to work on their cars themselves, and they come to AutoZone because they know they'll find quality parts, low prices, great selection, and helpful people like Rick Perry. Now, Rick's been around cars all his life, so he knows a thing or two about looking up parts and solving problems.